Well, how was Jojo Rabbit?
It's
I haven't seen that.
It's not as clean as Thor Ragnarok. Thor Ragnarok is really
Gee, that's pretty dirty.
tight
I didn't
writing.
like.
I mean,
Okay.
it's very concise and very tight writing, very strong, and I feel like the comedy of Thor Ragnarok is very,
Forgettable, throwaway.
yes, exactly, very on point, very good for the type of movie that
Topical.
it is. Yeah,
Won't be funny in 15 years,
right,
stuff like that.
right. But Jojo Rabbit is less that. It has comedy in it, but it's not that funny. But it's still is an enjoyable movie to watch overall. But it's not something you'd want to talk about because it's just about a little kid growing up in World War II Germany who loves Hitler.
Well, what's the? I mean, I'm curious to see it. I'm interested. What is the statement about the kid thinking Hitler's great, that Hitler Youth is bad, and that brainwashing children isn't right, or what is it?
Well,
What's the moral of the
I guess
story?
there's that on the face of it, but I think it's also I guess it's fundamentally a story about here we are discussing it. It's just what I didn't want to do. There's not that much to talk about. It's
We're gonna dig into this.
it's fundamentally about confronting your misconceptions and the process of empathy. I think it's about empathy. It's about
Towards
why
Hitler?
people don't have empathy and then how people can gain empathy toward people they didn't have empathy toward before. I think that's what it's about
Oh,
fundamentally.
was he not empathetic towards Jewish people because his friend Hitler was against them, and then he
Hitler is a
realizes Hitler
figment
is an idiot?
Hitler is his imaginary friend.
Right, but Hitler's real in the context of the story too, right? Because he lives in Nazi Germany.
But it's not Hitler because Hitler is
Right,
ridiculous in his imagination.
right, but
Hitler
see how
says
deep
things
Jojo
that
Rabbit
a
is?
little kid would say. Hitler is it looks like Hitler, but he says things that a child would say.
But
He's
he's
stubborn.
a referential point to an actually existing character in the world of the movie.
Yeah. Yes, externally, yeah, but I don't think
Does he realize my fake Hitler doesn't represent what the real Hitler is all about, or anything like that?
it's sort of like how if you had a childhood hero who was a real person, you know nothing about that real person probably because
Huh.
your lens is a child's lens and that person is mostly fictional in your imagination even though they're a real person in the
I
real
never knew
world.
Michael Jordan would cry so much when I was a
Right,
kid,
yeah,
and if
I
I
had
did,
no
I
idea.
might not be.
Exactly. Yeah, my Carrot Top, my childhood hero, had no idea that in reality, that he was actually a prop comic. I didn't know. I thought he was just in the 1-800 call collect commercials, and I thought that was it. Rats. But no, there's a little
Guess I'll
spoiler
have to
alert.
watch it. Sounds
There
interesting.
is a. You want me to say or not say?
Sure, say.
Yeah, his mother is hiding a Jewish girl in their house, and he believes that Jews are demons, and he starts when he finds her in the house. He starts a project of trying to write a book about the demonic characteristics of Jews, and he's doing sort of research and interviewing this girl and asking her about her horns and her mythical background. And through the process of creating this book that he plans to send to the Nazis, he develops a sense of empathy and
Does it end like Boy with the Striped Pajamas? Have you
Yep,
ever seen
I
that?
haven't seen that one.
No, that's got a good ending. Spoiler alert. Are you gonna watch it?
We're supposed to be talking about Unbreakable.
We're
Yeah,
gonna get
tell
there.
me what happened.
Well, it's a little boy that lives. His father gets transferred to be the overseer of what you get the idea is a death camp. He doesn't know what's going on, but
Right.
gradually throughout the story, it's revealed what's going on. But he befriends a kid on the other side of the wire who lives there. And so, spoiler alert: at the end of the movie, to be with his friend, he jumps across the fence and puts on the clothes of a prisoner. I forget what the circumstances are that lead that to happen, but it makes a lot of sense. And at the end of the movie, he gets put in a gas chamber and killed as his parents are trying to find him.
Wow.
It's
quite a
it's one of
shocker.
the darkest endings possible because you start out, this is a kids movie. It's probably something positive has to happen here, right? Like Jojo Rabbit, I'm sure, but it doesn't end that way.
Well,
So
there's
it has-
yeah. There's certainly
good.
dark elements in Jojo Rabbit. I mean, there are you see people being hung, right? There are people on the gallows. In the next scene, there's a comedy thing. It's a weird mix of darkness and lightness. But no, it doesn't go that direction in the end.
I'm really curious to give it a try now because I really like Hogan's Heroes, but I don't think Hogan's Heroes operates on the same ambition or something like that. Because
No,
that's obviously
you couldn't
trying
just
to say
you couldn't just put Hogan's Heroes is devoid of actual war horrors. You couldn't
Right.
put people hanging from the gallows in Hogan's Heroes. It wouldn't fly. Whereas
And
here,
even the villains are not
Yeah.
real Nazis. They're just Germans. Like there are some villains that are Nazis, but most of them are Germans that are like in the army, like which is different than like I mean they do go up
Hofstadter.
against the Gestapo and stuff. But yeah, those people do really bad things, but it's not like they're trying to make some grand statement about
and they're mostly antagonists to the other Germans who run Stalag 13.
Right.
Some people are lost here. What are you guys talking about? Hogan's Heroes, classic television show from the 1960s.
We're to
about
watch
World
about
War
anything
II.
but except on
It's
the
great.
Unbreakable trilogy. You can cut all this, right? Or you just upload it. You want it uploaded in one fell
I'm
swoop.
gonna do timestamps.
That'll help people with this nonsense. They can skip right here.
The part about World War II, Hogan's Heroes, and Jojo Rabbit. But I would say Jojo Rabbit is pretty funny in some places. All of the actors do a fantastic job. Very good character arc for the protagonist, the little boy. Very good character arc for the little boy. And it's an interesting balance between the genuine darkness of war. You do see people get killed. You do see people get hanged. But at the same time, it's still a child's story, and so there's a lens of lightness and humor throughout the entire thing, which is very interesting. And Hitler's always offering the kid. He flicks open his cigarette case. He's always offering the kid cigarettes when they're in a moment of stress. Hitler will take out his little cigarettes and he'll offer the kid one.
I might be offended by it. I'll have to see.
Offended?
I don't usually get it. Huh?
Offended.
Because I don't think that's. I mean, even if you are making a spoof comedy, I don't know if that's the way to make it. Because I think even in wartime, like kids, they grow up pretty quick and they realize exactly what's going on. So I'm not sure it's possible. I mean, yeah, you
I think
can
it's
make
tasteful.
a comedy.
I never had a sense of, oh, this is going too far. Nothing like that. I never had that sense. Never.
Yeah, when I say I would be offended by it, I don't mean that I actually get offended. Because I'm just by offended by it. I mean, does it pull it off or not? Does this actually achieve its goal? I
think it does.
don't care what it does. I don't care if it's.
Don't base
like,
that on my description, right? Be offended by my description, not by the movie. You should go watch it.